Hello and welcome to Wingin It, and welcome back to another game from the Wingspan World Cup 2025. We're very close now to the end of this regional qualifying stage. Just 2 more games to go, and they're probably both must-win ones in this situation. We are 4-4, having played 8 games here, and yeah, got to be getting those wins on the board to get through into the next round. Now, this could be a slightly different video. I will be post-commentating on this one, watching it back, and I actually was not recording for the first few turns of this game. Wasn't a video I was planning to record, but as you'll see, given the interesting birds I started with, I decided to hit record and yeah, give you my thoughts watching this one back. So we're going to jump in a few turns into this first round, and yeah, you'll see already got Baya and Anders Hummingbird down in the wetlands, so really good start for us, but not a bad one for my opponents. So they kept Great Crested Grebe and the rest food in the starting hand, so obviously a good brown power there to be drawing lots of birds, and yeah, it's what they've been doing these first few turns, but likewise what we've been doing. So yeah, we're going to keep on going in this very nice wetlands opening we've got here. Obviously Baya, not a bird I will say that I've had too much opportunity to use in the Age of Expansion. I think it's probably my favorite bird in that expansion, so yeah, definitely a good one to get the start here in the wetlands. Such a strong brown power, but yeah, not, as I say, one that I have too much experience actually using, so this was an interesting exercise to really understand, you know, just how good it is, but also which kind of birds you want to get down with it, because it's a little bit different to the usual kind of wetlands engine where maybe you're going with a bush tit or a blackbird or a grackle or something like that, because here you can tuck up to 3 cards, and so, you know, in a lot of cases you just want more card draw. You don't necessarily need more tucking birds, you don't necessarily need something like a mute swan that could be really good. You just need more cards, because in the early game here especially, yeah, I was skipping a lot of those tucks and kind of treating it as if it is just that normal tuck and lay power from yeah, the base game, just doing that 1 tuck each time to make sure that I do get the egg. But yeah, picking up some interesting birds. So cowbird, one I was kind of maybe considering looking at playing. Good with the hummingbird, with that nest type, easy to play, nice and cheap. And in the early game here, where it's not really clear what direction my opponent's going in, you know, maybe keep that just in case of a grasslands engine. Obviously they're there with something like red junglefowl coming up. That kind of screams forest engine. That's exactly the kind of bird that you look for to get some egg access, yeah, outside of the grasslands. So may well, yeah, stay away from this cowbird, but I've got time. I can just be patient and yeah, keep seeing what I get going off the deck. So yeah, going to keep drawing. We're actually going to start spending eggs here off this Baya. So again, slightly different situation to where if this was just a bush tit or something similar, because we can do those extra tucks. It's actually an advantage here to be able to spend those eggs, just see more cards. Obviously in this case, not really finding great cards, but potential options. So yeah, ditch the cowbird there. As I say, I'm pretty sure here we're going to be seeing a forest engine. And Master Lapwing is definitely an interesting one to be maybe getting some more food, maybe an option to be playing. Helps to send a round goal as well, which could be a consideration. But at the same time, kind of maybe thinking about Blue Throat to get some more food, especially because, yeah, we're definitely up against a forest engine here. So Morning Dove is going in. And yeah, I think in these situations where my opponent's going so strong in the forest and I'm going so strong in the wetlands, I'm very happy to give out some free food, as I have been doing with the hummingbird. And yeah, as I will look to continue doing. So thinking about this Blue Throat, and got potential options as well with that Sandhill Crane. So again, as I say, this I think is kind of where Baya is a little bit different to those sort of standard tuck and lay birds, because I would never dream of doing something like this with that sort of engine. I wouldn't be playing a Blue Throat and a Sandhill Crane here. I'd be, I say, automatically looking for probably more tuck and lay birds, more tuck and draws, something like a mute swan, something like a main duck. But here, because I'm already tucking, you know, as much as I can, and in many cases I'm still skipping tucks, I actually think I can make something work here, where, as I say, I'm going with these slightly unconventional brow powers in the wetlands, just getting a bunch of food And yeah, being able to get extra tucks through something like a Santal Crane is going to be really, really nice. So yeah, just picking up some more food here using this hummingbird. And yeah, as they kind of looking twice at this lapwing now, maybe. I think with this wetlands where I'm already generating 2 food each time, do I necessarily need to be playing a 1-point bird like that instead of running this wetlands? I think probably not. So yeah, I think it can go here. And yeah, already picking up lots of tucks on this Baya Weaver, and this engine is just getting started. So yeah, as I say, the plan that's forming in my head at this stage of the game is definitely to be getting these 2 brown powers in and just push this wetlands out, get more card draw going, and yeah, being able to still be generating food, obviously getting 2 per turn, but discarding 1 with the crane still does generate me some food, which I can use to play some birds. And yeah, being able to try and clear out the Baya Weaver X space is probably going to be the biggest challenge faced in this game. So yeah, things looking good on my opponent's side as well. Plenty of food coming through, courtesy of yours truly. But yeah, that nice start in the forest as well. So yeah, had a bit of a decision point here where could obviously play the blue throat. I could then be taking cards again the next turn, but obviously not being able to take nectar is a bit of a shame. So why not draw again? Why not see maybe, you know, that tuck and draw bird that I am obviously still looking for could come up here and just help, yeah, get things flowing a little bit more quickly. And, you know, if it comes up, great, I could play that. If not, well, still could play the blue throat on this last turn, get ready to draw cards at the start of next round, and then still be able to start, yeah, getting the food for this Santal Crane, get that down, and go from there. So yeah, just doing a little bit of thinking here, say on the egg situation with the Baya Weaver. I think in general it is a good idea to clear out that extra egg and just see the extra card as much as possible. I think in this situation though, I probably shouldn't be spending the egg. I think, you know, at the point where you're developing your engine and starting to get these additional birds down, you really actually do need those extra eggs just for playing birds. And yeah, that is potentially going to be a bit of a miss coming into the second round, where it might slow things down by a turn. So yeah, probably in this situation shouldn't be spending that egg. And we didn't really get anything too good coming out of it. We'll say that this Starling, I'm going to keep hold of that. That could again be another option for using up some of this extra food. Maybe play that in the grasslands. Maybe use that for the next end of round goal. You know, birds with tuck cards. Ordinarily, I'd be feeling pretty good with that going with the wetlands engine, but yeah, not seeing too many tucking birds come up in this situation. So not immediately obvious how many of those kind of birds we're going to be able to get down. So yeah, forest is going for my opponent, and wetlands going for us. And yeah, we get to spend the extra nectar hit on the blue throat, which may come into things later, but I'm not really targeting these nectar scoring. I'm targeting the tucking birds, and we got one that's finally come up in the tray here. Yeah, tree swallow. So immediately grabbing that, no questions asked here. And yeah, could start using this blue throat. And as I say, thinking about, you know, which food do I give out? I'm going to be quite aggressive here and give out nectar now. I think being able to spend as much nectar as I can on these wetland birds is going to be important. And really, my opponent has got great food access, probably be able to get as much nectar as they want to anyway. So it feels like it's more of a drop in the ocean for them, and actually potentially a big help for me. And obviously using the hummingbird, being able to grab nectar where I can there is definitely nice. So yeah, we're getting some good food coming through. And honestly, I think that tree swallow, that's probably fine to get in as, yeah, the last bird in my engine. So I think we'll still stick with doing the Santal Crane first. Obviously, that is 2 points per turn, whereas the tree swallow is just the 1. And I do want to be spending that food where I can on those tucks. And then from there, it's just, yeah, continuing to dig and looking for those big point birds, looking for, yeah, some nice options to play. I mean, we do still have this mechanical engineer that's going to need a little bit of work. You know, we are getting the right nest types to get at least one set, but going to take a bit of work and effort to, yeah, really make sure that we're maximizing that and scoring 8 points there. So my opponent's going back to digging again. Quite a nice bird coming up here, Pelita Woodpecker. So that is potentially going to give me some things to think about if that is picked up and played. Because, yeah, cooperative eggs. Baya Weaver is going to fill up, and that's where maybe this tree swallow is going to help. Maybe, yeah, that starling as well. That could be something that we play just for a bit of egg space, because you do not want to miss out on the free eggs when they're coming through. So we'll see if that does get picked up. But yeah, I think regardless, I say we've got a plan. We're going to stick to it. And unless any curveballs come up, unless, you know, maybe if main duck or something comes up, would I still think about playing it? Yes. Would it be the best play? Unlikely, because yeah, we just need extra cards. We need to be doing tucks on this Baya Weaver and just, yeah, scoring loads of points there. But back onto our turn hitting. You see Pleated Weapon is not taken, so that was definitely a surprise to me. I felt like that would be a really good play for my opponent. Obviously with all the cavity nesting space over there, but maybe a sign that, you know, with all this food in supply, maybe the forest isn't the way to go. Maybe it's going to be a pivot into a different kind of approach in this game. Maybe just trying to play big point birds and not necessarily take food, because yeah, me giving out 2 food a turn is basically the same strength as their forest. So, you know, I'm kind of saving turns on their side, but, you know, you've got to have things to do with those turns. And maybe that is just digging more with something like that grebe and, yeah, hoping for more big point birds coming up. But we're able to get some food, we're able to get some rerolls, and, yeah, hummingbird getting more nectar. So going to use as much of that as possible on the sandhill crane. And yeah, make sure that there's still a couple left over if possible for the tree swallow. But also got to think about maybe the next birds I'm going to be playing after that. So probably, yeah, going to need a little bit of food going into next round. But otherwise, I think this is where the blue throat's going to be handy, because I can just make sure that I'm taking seeds on that where I need them for the sandhill crane. Make sure I'm always getting those 2 tucks. And yeah, that extra food is going to be worth 2 points to me, and there's no way that it's going to be worth 2 for my opponent. So yeah, time to get the sandhill crane in. As I say, maybe a turn later than I could have otherwise got it in. Maybe if I had played it a turn sooner, I might have had, you know, fewer food and wouldn't have been able to use it. So there's kind of, you know, maybe not such an impact of getting it down a turn slower, but it's good to get it in now. Early enough still in this game. I think always round 2 is the time to target to get your engine fully set up. And yeah, we're going to be able to do that here. Still 4 turns left, so draw a couple of times, get the tree swallow in, unless something better comes up. But yeah, in all likelihood, it's going to be that tree swallow that we're going with. And yeah, just getting another point on this engine, seeing some more cards, and yeah, really giving a strong wetlands to just run the rest of this game, get loads of tucks, and hopefully buy more big point birds that we can play with some of this extra food. So yeah, back onto our turn, and maybe my opponent is sticking in the forest, so red jungle fowl going down. So yeah, as I say, definitely a bit surprising, I think, if you are going forest here. Pleated woodpecker would have been amazing. I'm definitely not going to benefit off those 3 eggs, but if it's not being picked up, I'm not going to go out of my way to do anything about blocking it there. So yeah, we'll just keep drawing in. No grey birds coming up. I mean, horned lark could be an interesting one. My opponent has 0 Rasa birds down so far. And yeah, it could be a nice option to play. Maybe get some pink power activations there, get some more tuck cards. But as I say, for now, the priority has got to be getting, yeah, that final piece in the tree swallow. And obviously that is going to be a bird that can get a tuck card as well. So want to be getting that in for this round. So a little bit more nectar coming up. Very good. So yeah, got the 2 nectar for, yeah, that tree swallow. We'll keep the horned lark though. So, you know, for now, I can always, I think, skip the occasional tuck on the Baya Weaver. But for sure, once the tree swallow goes in, I'm going to be drawing 4 cards. So I want to be tucking at least 3 every time. And yeah, skipping as few as possible. So just keeping more options open here, keeping availability for, yeah, maybe some of those plays in round 3 and onwards. But by the time, yeah, we get the engine fully set up here, we're seeing so many cards. So hopefully, nice big point birds, some bonus card birds, and yeah, looking for the right nest types for this mechanical engineer. We should be seeing enough here that we can find the good birds to play. Star nest birds would be very, very welcome, but yeah, otherwise it's most likely platform nests that are going to be the one to keep an eye out for. So yeah, more food being taken there for my opponent, and yeah, we're just going to keep drawing and keep throwing, yeah, that food around a little bit. So again, not really finding great options here, but I can settle for just scoring the tucks here, scoring the points in this wetlands. And yeah, worry about finding the big point birds maybe in the next round. So keep getting those tucks, keep giving seeds out with the blue throat, and you know, where there's no nectar, I'll happily take another seed here through the hummingbird. It just gives a little bit more flexibility where maybe on a future turn where I have got the extra seed and I need a more specific food through the blue throat, I can use that, have the extra seed ready to use the turn after that on the sandhill crane. So just, yeah, helps for, as I say, that bit of flexibility. And, you know, running this engine as it is already scoring 6 points. Once the tree swallow goes in, it's going to be a 7-point engine, and it's that net 1 food gain and net 1 card gain as well. So that is just so potent, so powerful to get that set up this stage of the game in round 2, be able to run that. And yeah, it's just, from my opponents, all going to be about what birds could go down, because there's just so much food going on here, so much food from their forest and from my wetlands. But yeah, it's got to be, you know, birds going down, big point birds. Ideally, something like that, the starling that I've got hold of would be perfect over here. So I'm quite happy I'm the one with that in hand and not them. So yeah, we'll see what difference that's going to make. But I say nice and simple, nice and straightforward. Tree swallow going into the game, and the engine's done. So the wetlands is complete. And yeah, from this point onwards in this game, it's really just a case of running it. It's just a case of trying to find those nice birds, but really, yeah, make the most of this investment we've made and use this, yeah, slightly unconventional sandhill crane with the extra food in our wetlands. But there we go. It's not common starling from my opponent, but turtle dove will do, collar dove will do just as well over there. So yeah, that's a little bit of a frustration that was found, but I can't be too annoyed given the strength of their wetlands and their card draw. So yeah, obviously now every food I give away is going to be a point, which is a consideration that I have to make. But as I said, with the sandhill crane, I know that all the extra seeds I'm getting, they're worth 2 points for me. So I'm kind of okay with that. And I think it definitely gets to the point where you can just flood so much food at someone that, you know, even with a collared dove, there's going to be some extras left over at the end. So pretty nice find here. Planeswalker, we will not be tucking that. We'll be keeping it. Yeah, that could be a very nice play late on in the game. Obviously, at the moment, with an empty grasslands, not so much. But maybe, yeah, some more bonus card birds are going to come through. Maybe some nice double birds. That's, I think, always key to help clear out space on a Baya Weaver, is being able to, yeah, do some double plays and spend some of this food all in one turn. So that's what I'll be looking for. But certainly doesn't hurt to have, yeah, bird like the Planeswalker already in hand, ready to go for the late game. So yeah, happy with how this game's going so far. Really, really nice wetlands. And yeah, my opponent doing a bit of a sneaky play there. Benelli's Eagle going down. So actually, from out of nowhere, getting a tile at the end of round goal, which I did not see coming. So fair play. So yeah, nice bird to play. And bit more information to me that's not going to be in the deck anymore. So normally the kind of bird that, yeah, you are digging for, you are looking for. Benelli's Eagle, always a good one to find. So yeah, not going to be on my radar anymore. But as I say, with this extra food, looking for those bonus card birds, looking for those nice big point birds to fill out this forest and this grasslands, get those in the game. That's really the key from this point onwards. So yeah, into round 3. Not the greatest tray, which absolutely fine by me. I'm going to be mostly going off the deck anyway. And yeah, really, I think the only question is how soon, if at all, do I commit with the Horned Lark? Because it's kind of pink power. You know, you really got to play it as soon as possible. I've sort of missed the boat a little bit here, though, because with the Collar Dove and the Benelli's Eagle going down in the last round, it's already 2 grassland birds, so really kind of puts the cap on the potential of a bird like Horned Lark. So yeah, I think if the grasses were still empty at this point, I'd probably just play that down straight away. But given that I'm not really sure if that's going to be a good play or not, especially because I don't actually need it here for Mechanical Engineer, I'd rather just give myself, yeah, that little bit of time, you know, seeing these 5 cards a turn I am seeing, then just use that to my advantage. and go from there. So we did get a nice find there in the red-eyed vireo. So that's the kind of bird I'm looking for. Again, hits the starness criteria that mechanical engineer is going to be looking for, but double bird as well. So just to really need to find forest birds that are worth playing. At the moment, not really coming through for me. So something like a hooded warbler, obviously with the center roll goal in mind as well, be a good play. But yeah, any sort of nice forest bird would be a no-brainer play with that vireo. So picking up some worms, just getting ready for that. And this is kind of, yeah, all you can do in this stage is, if you haven't quite got the birds that you necessarily want, just try and get the food that's going to work for those. So yeah, maybe for me, that is just going to be stocking up on a few more seeds so that I have the Santal Crane sorted. Maybe it's just picking up worms because I've got the vireo, I've got this Plains Wanderer that I'm looking at playing. But yeah, until really I can actually find a precise bird that I know I want to play and only need specific food, I'm sort of just guessing which food is most likely to be needed. So yeah, more drawing and more birds that not really what I am after here. So flamingo, I'm just glad my opponent didn't find that a little earlier in the game. To be honest, I think even if they got it now, probably would be a little bit on the late side. So really, just at this point, it's about assessing options. You know, which of these birds am I most likely to play, and which food do I need for them. But I think for the most part, blue throat being able to just give out the seed here is most useful. But there's nectar as well, so that is maybe something for me to think about, especially with the feeder as it is. You know, no nectar. I've got to be thinking about at least qualifying in these other habitats. So yeah, no nectar spent in either the forest or the grasslands. It's important to spend there and make sure that I pick up those 2 points. I know I'm not going to win. There's absolutely no chance of me winning in either of those nectar habitats, but just qualifying, picking up those extra points, I don't want to be missing out on those. So yeah, with the feeder as it is, and I say with the extra seed in my supply, do choose to go for the nectar there. And yeah, maybe just give myself an option for doing essentially that double play. I think red-eyed vireo. So see, I'm kind of going back and forth. I don't think either of those birds are going to be what I double play into, but at the moment I've not really got better options. So yeah, if push comes to shove and I do have to do a kind of weaker double play just for clearing out the egg space on Baya Weaver, then maybe that is going to be worth it. But ideally, yeah, some better options are going to come up. So drop the swan going down, very nice, big point bird for my opponent. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and keep drawing, and Goldfinch is going to come our way, which yeah, that's a pretty nice bird. That's going to be a very nice option to double play into, nice and cheap. And that yellow power as well, maybe coming into play, maybe helping out to, yeah, just get another bird in. I think especially something like the Plains Wanderer, that could be an especially nice one to play with that yellow power and see a bunch of bonus cards. And kind of treat it a bit like a Kakapo or something like that, where, yeah, you're getting those late bonus cards and hopefully picking up some points. So, yeah, this is where we start skipping eggs on the Weaver. It's annoying. It's frustrating. I'd like to be getting that point. It does feel like a bit of a waste to not be scoring that extra point with the egg, but yeah, not really much you can do when I'm not drawing that many nice birds to be going and playing. So the Bird of Paradise is an option. That's, yeah, something I may look at. I think especially if the cup nest is going to be useful for the mechanical engineer, which, yeah, I think this double play in the forest with the star nest and the cavity nest, that kind of gets us most of the way there. Just need one more different nest type to go in to, yeah, make the mechanical engineer work. So have to see on that, but there's the blue-winged warbler that I wanted. So yeah, that's exactly the kind of bird I was after. Very annoying to see that appear now after I've done 3 turns worth of digging this round. But yeah, that's the nature of going off the top of the deck, is you never quite know what you're going to get. So I have zero doubts that my opponent is indeed going to go pick that up. It's exactly the kind of bird that you want here for this end of round goal. Nice big point bird. And yeah, you do not want to be leaving that for me either in this scenario. So yeah, I think definitely going to do a bit more digging and hope to find birds kind of that level, or maybe hopefully a little bit better. But at least got some options to work with, but maybe going to be hoping on a nice bird coming up in the final round tray. Or maybe a little bit sooner than that. So yeah, not getting the warbler, but I'll happily trade that for Great Indian Bustard. So yeah, we'll be going to picking that up. Absolutely zero questions asked. And again, with a bonus card like the Mechanical Engineer, I definitely want to be maxing that out, but even more so now where I know I could basically double that and get even more points coming through. That's going to be, yeah, a very nice option to work with. So yeah, at this point, I'm just sort of like checking the nest types, counting foods. Bird like this Asian Emerald Dove is also looking pretty good because a platform nest is what I'm missing for Mechanical Engineer. So that would be a very nice one to get in. But I have got to think carefully about, you know, where that goes down in this board. You know, don't really want to play it in column 1 because then I'm missing out on the eggs that the Baya Weaver would be, yeah, already full on. So ideally, that's going to go down in column 2, but then I need something else to play in the grasslands in column 1, and I don't want that to be the Plains Wanderer. I want to play that later. I certainly don't want that to be the Indian Bustard because I want to play that later in the game when I've already maxed out my bonus cards. So yeah, maybe got a bit of work to do and think about, yeah, which birds to play and in which order. You know, this is where the challenge of this game comes in now. The early game was all about getting the engine set up and the difficult decisions there were, you know, picking the right birds to play and the right order to play them in to get the engine going. And now it's the same issue, but just in an entirely different part of the game where, yeah, which birds do I want to prioritize? Which big point birds can I play to help, you know, maybe the end of round goals, the bonus card, worrying about the egg space, you know, all these kind of little decisions to think about. That's the key really at this stage of the game. But yeah, I think at the very least, that forest double play is going to be good into the yellow power. And then it's just a case of trying to work out how to fill out the rest of these spaces and use the food that I've got as effectively as possible, because I've got a lot of worms here. I'm stuck with a lot of worms and not necessarily a lot of birds to play them with. So American Woodcock goes down. That again would have been a great bird for me not to be here. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and do this double play. So yeah, spend a little bit of nectar. As I say, it's not really going to make too much of a dent in the next scoring, but it's getting our 2 points, and that is all I can do in this situation. So yeah, pretty nice one. We do finally clear out an egg space on the Baya Weaver, but that's going to fill up very quickly again when we go draw cards next turn. So yeah, I'm sort of fighting a fire that is impossible to put out here with this Baya Weaver. So hopefully some more nice birds will come up when I draw again, or maybe in that final round trade. But yeah, may just have to accept that I'm going to be missing a point there every time. And if that is the case, it's hardly the end of the world. It's still a really strong engine here. You know, still getting plenty of tucks. And just having enough eggs there to actually do the plays in the final round, play those birds, that's the key. And that's where, yeah, we're really going to be able to benefit. So there goes the Warbler down. Absolutely no issues, yeah, on the end of round goal for my opponent. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and draw, and yeah, some more nice bonus card options are coming up. So Prairie Chicken coming off the top. Do have Sprays Pipit in the tray as well, which, yeah, I think I will look at going to pick up here. I mean, food is plentiful, but I've got a lot of expensive birds. So, you know, maybe picking up a slightly cheaper option and using that for that first play in the grasslands could be a good option to do that, and then maybe look at doing, yeah, the Emerald Dove in column 2 and being able to make the most of those eggs. So yeah, something to think about, something to consider. And yeah, I think the real challenge of coming through into this endgame is just going to be about food management. It's going to be about trying to take the right food from the bird feeder. I mean, that wasn't an ideal situation there. Having to take a berry, you know, I'd rather be getting seeds, or I'd rather be getting obviously nectar if I could, but at this stage in the round, definitely too late for that. So already into triple digits, 103 points coming to the end of round 3. So yeah, there's definitely going to be a high scoring game on both sides. There's no doubt about that with the strength of my engine and just all this food that I'm giving out. Yeah, we're both going to be scoring well. So end of round goal, not really our friend there. Coming to the final round, and yeah, that tray is not really our friend either, but bird like the house crow, I feel like I can't leave that for my opponent here in this situation where, yeah, there's so much extra food. That could potentially be a nice play late on here to score a bunch of points. So I do go and, yeah, draw some cards and, yeah, not really getting the different options. But I think this is the point where I just pick the birds that I've already got that I know I want to play. So, yeah, it's just going to be about the order again. I play them in, make sure I've got the right food. I mean, thing to remember with this Goldfinch, obviously, yellow power. Can't use nectar there, so if I'm going to play maybe that Indian bus at the end, I'm going to need specific food there. I'm going to need the seeds to come through. So that's something to think about. But otherwise, yeah, it's just trying to get this feeder moving. Trying to get the right food and stuck with more worms that are just not really what I'm after here. So yeah, maybe some expensive plays coming in, maybe some overpaying. But yeah, we'll have to maybe see about that when we do come to play some of these birds. So should be some easy tucks here. Yeah, a few wetland birds that I have no space for. And yeah, starling, I've held onto that bird long enough. That was kind of there, as I say, for the insurance. But I think here, yeah, just with these other better options, these big point birds, they're going to maybe get me some bonus cards or some other kind of benefit. I think that's going to be my priority here. So yeah, just checking things through, just counting food. And yeah, as I say, really hoping this feeder, that's what I want to see. Lots of nectar, lots of seeds. Those are the foods that I need. Obviously my opponent, yeah, with a strong forest is going to be taking lots there. So 4 turns left. And yeah, I'm pretty certain here it's going to be 2 of those turns will be playing birds and 2 of those turns will be taking cards. So yeah, it's just a case of like counting through, working which birds are going to go down. I mean, I do really want to play this Planeswanderer, but I'm not sure there's going to be space for it here because, you know, it's not going to work in this first column. It would need to be played later, but I need to play other birds sooner. I absolutely have to play this Emerald Dove just for the nest type that I need for Mechanical Engineer. As they still got this Prairie Chicken, which, you know, is an extra food, but it's at 2 extra points. So yeah, maybe I'd have to be skipping some Sandhill Crane tucks, but yeah, lots of different permutations I think for this end game, which is a little bit overwhelming. And so just taking a bit of time here, just to think things through, just to work out, should I draw again here? Maybe see if I do get that last chance at a double bird. Maybe I just play the bonus card bird, the Pipit, just get that down now. See the bonus card. Maybe then, you know, one of these other birds is going to become a better option. So yeah, definitely got a few different considerations to make at this stage of the game. But I think I will go ahead and play the Sprague's Pippa here. Or no, I'm going to go draw cards. So there we go. See if we get any other options. Do get the Spotted Owl come up there, but again, it's not the right nest type. Would have been nice earlier to play in the forest, clear out some egg space. But yeah, at this stage of the game where the food not really coming through necessarily for me for that kind of bird. And yeah, I need to be playing grass and plays. I need to be playing the right nest types for the Mechanical Engineer. I don't think, that Spotted Owl is going to be the option here. So yeah, just about, as I say, making sure with the seeds that I'm getting them through, with the Blue Throat, grabbing nectar where I can. Do still need to spend 1 nectar at least in this Grasslands, which I'll certainly be looking to do. Probably saving that for the Emerald Dove, which, does need 2 berries, which is slightly annoying. But that's where nectar is really going to come in. So, we'll just keep taking our tucks. Keep skipping those eggs, unfortunately. But, I think this is where, certainly this stage of the game, I was very much set in my plan. So, know that it's going to be those 2 Grassland plays. And, 1 turn, final turn drawing cards to, just max out on this wetlands, get the last little bit of food for this bustard. So hopefully not too many more difficult decisions to make. Just got to hope that, these last few plays are going to be good. So another nice big point bird for my opponent in the Gallinule. Yeah, it's time to execute our plans. So I say it's just a case of counting through, just making sure that all the right food is there. We'll say this feeder did make things a little bit annoying because there's no seeds there. And that last turn, it's important I am able to gain 2 seeds. with using the blue throat. Obviously, I can take one there, but I need to take one with the hummingbird as well. Nectar's not going to be any good for the finch, so I may have to rework things a little bit. I may have to hope that my opponent's going to take food, but with all the food I've been giving out and the number of big point birds to go down at the end here, feels kind of unlikely. So I think the priority here is going to be Sprague's Pipit, get that down. I'm going to be overpaying, got to keep the seeds where I can. And yeah, make sure I've got some for the Sandal Crane, but also, yeah, some for this Bustard. And yeah, still wishing that Plains Wanderer, I could get that in as well. Not quite enough turns, not quite enough food, I don't think, in this situation, unfortunately. So yeah, it's going to be playing this this Sprague's Pipit, seeing the 2 bonus cards. What are we going to get? Great options. Passerine Specialist already maxed out. I'm an Omnivore as well, so Omnivore I know will get 2 more points with the Bustard, so I'm going to get up to 6 there. Am I going to get more? You know, maybe suddenly something like the House Crow could come into things with the Omnivore, get a couple more points there. But I do just keep it simple here with the Passerine. I think I'd already done enough thinking at this stage, and I knew that, you know, going with the Emerald Dove play, getting that in, getting the eggs, that was going to be good. And yeah, this stage of the game, already enough thinking's taken place. So stick to the plan, be happy with the 6-point bonus card, and yeah, just go from there. So back onto our turn here. Opponent's actually laying eggs here, so yeah, throwing maybe some of that extra food I've been giving away. Just 1 card left, so probably going to see that go down at some point in this end game. But yeah, this is again as they were. This feeder's maybe making things a little bit more difficult, where I may have to just draw cards again and still miss out on that Bioweaver egg, which is annoying. But the problem is, if I play the Dove now, I have to spend a seed, and then when I draw cards, I can't use the Crane because I have no seeds. I wouldn't have enough food to play the Bustard, so I'd have to skip the Crane. That's going to cost me 2 points, whereas it's actually better to just draw now and skip the 1 point that, yeah, the Bioweaver is going to miss out on. So yeah, we'll go ahead and draw. And reassuring at least to know that Woodstalk's not the bird that my opponent is going to play. Maybe it'll be something sort of that level. But yeah, we get the extra seed from the Blue Throat, which is great. Get that final nectar. And yeah, going to be playing the Emerald Dove with the 2 nectar and the berry. So that's going to go down there. Keep the worm and the 2 seeds for the Bustard. And that's going to be, yeah, the Goldfinch play. So just taking our Bioweaver Tucks. 45 of them in the end. That's very strong. A lot of points there. 22 on the Sandal Crane as well. So yeah, between them, massive number of Tucks. They've done a great job in this wetlands. Just, yeah, keeping things ticking along. Letting me score points while also gaining these resources. But these nice big point plays at the end, because yeah, while this engine has been strong, these final plays are going to be really big points. Emerald Dove, I mean, that would already be a great play here, just with the big points and the eggs coming through. But hitting Mechanical Engineer is such a big boost here. 5 extra points on that bonus card. So very nice to max that out. And then yeah, the Bustard, which is just always such a good play to get it late on here. Kind of the perfect bird, I think, almost to play with the Goldfinch. Get it in there, pick your best bonus card, and get extra points from that. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a nice play. And final one for my opponent is Welcome Swallow. So not the bird I was expected to go down. May well be that it helps the bonus card, but it, at the very least, does help tie that end of round goal. So yeah, we split those points and come into the yellow power sequence, which is going to be this Bustard. So been waiting very patiently for a long section of this game to get that bird down, but it's been worth the wait. Big chunk of points coming through there, but a big chunk of points on the nectars for my opponent. So yeah, that is kind of always where you're going to struggle, always where you're going to miss out on some points. Going with this kind of wetlands engine, just kind of have to accept that. So nice wins there for my opponent. We'll see what it's going to do in these final scores. So yeah, it should be big on both sides. Lots of birds going down on both sides. So good bonus cards to know for us. But really, our engine was all about the Tucks. So a few caches from the busted at the end. My opponent did have a lot of tucks, got to say, with the collared dove, of course, but yeah, nothing quite compared to ours. 76 in total. So even losing these nectars, we're going to win quite comfortably with a massive score, 164 in the end. So yeah, even 135 for my opponent, which is a great score in its own right. Not enough to get close to me in this game. So there we go, super fun one. And yeah, glad I decided to hit record even a few turns into this game. I knew the potential of this as soon as it was Baya Weaver Hummingbird going in, that we could be doing something special here. And I think that was the case. Very nice final board. And this is even leaving some points on the board. I don't think it was a fully optimal game here. Lots of missed eggs on, yeah, the Baya Weaver, of course. But nice bonus card. So yeah, maxed out wetland population monitor. Definitely helping through the welcome swallow. And yeah, some big point birds. But yeah, this is the struggle that you have, I think. Even a nice big point play, a nice big score up against Baya Weaver engine with all these tucks and all these big point birds coming out at the end. Yeah, there's not really too much you can do there. So really happy with that game, and much needed win at this stage of the World Cup. So hope you enjoyed that one. That was super fun to play, super fun to watch back. Always good to get a nice wetlands engine with a nice big score. If you want to see more from this World Cup, do stick around, do stay tuned, do hit subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in another video very soon.